They say a terrified boy fled into the cypress swamp and returned as something altogether different. They say the swamp transformed me, turned me into a being the plantation could neither comprehend nor dominate. They're correct on that point. But what they never realized, what Master Renault failed to grasp until it was far too late, was that I didn't merely carry back a remedy from those black waters. I carried an invisible chain, yet utterly unbreakable, one that would bind him more securely than any iron shackles he'd ever clamped on us. My name is Toby, and at 15 years old, I discovered that the most crushing revenge isn't always outright destruction. Sometimes it's handing your enemy precisely what chunny music he believes he desires most. It all started on a stifling August morning in 1852, some music at the Rena Plantation in southern Louisiana, where endless rows of indigo rose in blue, green waves and enslaved people toiled from before sunrise until well past sunset. The air hung heavy with humidity and the thick, sweet scent of indigo plants. A fragrance I'd known my whole life, one that embodied everything keeping us tethered to this soil. Born right there in a tiny cabin in the quarters, brought into the world by my mother's friend Aunt Josephine. As my mother cried out through the night, I'd spent all 15 years of my life laboring in those fields, watching that cursed crop thrive while knowing each plant stood for my chains. My earliest recollections were steeped in blue, the blue-green of indigo leaves, the deep music blue of dye pulled from the plants, the blue-black of bruises left by angry overseers. The Renault Plantation ranked among Louisiana's biggest indigo enterprises, stretching more than 3,000 acres along the vast cypress swamp's edge. Master Renault, 60 years old and third-generation owner of this land, had grown rich from decades of cultivation built on the labor of enslaved families like mine. My mother Sarah slaved in the laundry house, scrubbing the Renault family's fine linens for endless hours, her hands forever cracked and stained from lye soap. My younger sisters, Mary and Ruth, worked in the kitchen under the cook's watchful eye. I'd been in the field since age 7, deemed large enough to be useful. The labor was merciless. In planting season, we bent over for 18-hour days, hands raw, setting fragile seedlings in perfectly straight lines. During growth, we weeded, watered, and nurtured plants with a care never extended to us. At harvest, we sliced the stalks and hauled them to the processing house, where leaves soaked and fermented to yield that valuable blue dye. Master Renault passed as moderate among Louisiana planters, meaning he favored fear over constant whippings. He thought healthy, unmarked workers produced more than broken ones, yet he never hesitated to order the lash when he deemed it needed for control. His overseer, Mr. Gaston, was another matter entirely. A wary, vicious man from Alabama who truly relished inflicting pain. He kept a leather strap on his belt and swung it freely for any slight moving too slow. Speaking during work, meeting his gaze the wrong way, I'd learned young to fade into the background around whites. To work steadily, but not too quickly, to keep eyes lowered and mouth closed. Survival meant being unnoticed, never standing out in ways that invited torment. Yet deep inside, something in me refused to fully accept the order, refused to believe I was subhuman. My mother had murmured since childhood that we were people, that enslavement didn't make us beasts, no matter what the master claimed. She'd shared tales of her own mother, born free in Africa before being torn away and shipped here in chains. Hold fast to who you are, she'd whisper on rare evenings together. You're bigger than this plantation. You're more than their property. Deep inside, where they can't reach, you're already free. I clung to those words like a rope in a storm, even as years rolled by and freedom felt ever more distant. The crisis began 2 months before my escape, when a mysterious blight struck the indigo fields. It appeared first in the western sections. Brown spots on leaves, weakened stems, stunted growth. Within a week, whole rows suffered. Within a month, a quarter of the crop showed signs. Master Reynault panicked. Indigo was his wealth, his family legacy, his entire livelihood. He summoned experts from New Orleans, agricultural scholars who inspected plants and soil, who suggested sulfur treatments, crop rotation, soil amendments. Nothing stopped it. The blight crept onward, relentless, an unseen plague destroying everything it touched. The specialists offered no solutions. Some blamed fungus, others soil exhaustion. Still others weather extremes. Master Reynault's fear soared into desperation, and desperation sharpened his cruelty. Punishments rose for tiniest errors. Rations shrank. He claimed lost harvest meant less money. But we knew it was also retribution for a disease we couldn't prevent. Tension gripped the plantation. Everyone moved cautiously, dreading attention. Knowing his fury sought targets, and we were always closest. That was the atmosphere, that August morning, when I committed my error, working near the processing house, with a crew transplanting seedlings into cleared diseased patches. I carried a water bucket to keep them moist. The seedlings were delicate, roots had to stay unharmed. I stumbled over a hidden root, bucket tipped, water spilled uselessly into dirt. A small mishap, water easily refetched, meaningless in the plantation scale. But Master Reynault stood watching from the field's edge, eyes keen and furious, hunting for any outlet for his rage over failing crops.
"Boy,"
his shout cracked like thunder. Every worker froze. "You careless, worthless." He didn't finish, just strode toward me, face purple with anger rooted in dying plants and slipping fortune, not spilled water. "Do you realize how precious water is? The labor to haul it from the well? And you waste it like nothing? Master." "I'm sorry I tripped." The slap struck hard enough to spin me sideways. "I didn't give you leave to speak." Mr. Gaston materialized, grinning faintly, eager for suffering. 20 lashes. Master Reynault declared coldly. "Perhaps that will teach carefulness with resources. Perhaps it'll teach all of you I won't tolerate waste." 20 lashes for spilled water. 20 because his crops withered and he needed someone to bleed. 20 to remind us we were property. Rightless, unprotected, valued only for labor. They seized me before I could plead. 2 men pinned my arms while another stripped my shirt. They hauled me to the whipping post. A thick pole sunk deep near the fields, polished smooth by countless backs. Wrists tied high, toes barely scraping ground. My mother's scream carried from the laundry house. She'd seen and was held back by women who knew interference worsened everything. Mr. Gaston drew it out, building dread, ensuring the lesson sank in for all. The first lash burned like flame. Shock nearly worse than pain. My body unprepared despite knowing it came. Second landed atop the first, ripping fresh skin. I gasped, bit tongue, tasted blood. By the 5th, screams tore free. I couldn't stop them. Back became pure fire, blood trickling down. By 10th, tears and snot streamed, voice hoarse. Enslaved onlookers kept faces blank, knowing sympathy could mark them next. I counted through agony 11, 12, 13 each cut deeper, flaying skin to muscle, shattering something inside. At 15, mind detached. Dissociation or raw instinct. I watched from outside a 15-year-old boy bound, back shredded, beaten for water. In that moment, clarity struck. I would not die here. I would not endure lifelong beatings while tending his diseased crop. This would not be my whole life. I would run. 16, 17, 18. The decision anchored me, purpose beyond mere survival. I wasn't breaking. I was shedding final mental chains that had kept me accepting the inevitable. 19th, 20. The last blow landed hardest, as if Gaston meant permanence. Ropes cut, I crumpled into dirt, unable to rise, back a howling ruin. "Give him water," Master Renault ordered, as if that balanced the scale. "Then all of you, back to work." I lay in August heat, sun scorching torn flesh atop inner fire. Flies swarmed wounds instantly. I couldn't swat them, couldn't move, could only hurt. Aunt Josephine appeared with water, kneeling cautiously. "Sip slow," she murmured, steadying me. "Let pain ease before standing." "I can't keep doing this," I rasped. She checked. No one listened. "If you run, head deep into the cypress swamp, where water's black and trees block the sun. Hunters fear losing themselves there, fear what lives in darkness." She spoke casually, then left before notice. Message clear, some risks outweighed staying. I lay perhaps an hour, time meaningless in torment. Gaston returned, kicked me. "Up, Master's generous. One more hour rest, then fields." Generous, for 20 lashes that shredded me. Yet I rose, leaning on post, staggered to quarters, each step fresh agony. Mother waited, tear-streaked with rags and herbal water. "Lay down," she said steadily. "Must clean before infection." Sisters Mary and Ruth, 12 and 10, wept quietly. Old enough to grasp, old enough to fear it for themselves. She cleaned gently as possible, but torn flesh allowed no gentleness. I bit leather to stifle screams. She applied passed-down remedies, knowledge from generations of enslaved women, since white doctors treated us only when property value demanded. "You're planning to run?" Not a question. I nodded around leather, the swamp. Another nod. Long silence, hands still working. Dangerous. Alligators, snakes, quicksand, losing the way. Most who enter don't return. Pause. Most who stay don't truly live. Tears fell on my skin. "You're my son, my baby. I can't shield you anymore. It's not your job, Mama. I'm old enough now." "Are you?" Fierce. "Toby, you're 15. Never left this place. Never navigated swamp alone. You don't know what waits." "I know what's here," I said. "And I can't stay, not after today. Next time he might kill me, or you, or the girls. I won't live like this." She bandaged, then faced me. "If you go tonight to music. Before more punishment, before infection weakens you. Go deep, past where hunters follow. Come with me. All of us." Head shake. I'm too slow, too noticeable. Woman my age with young girls. Caught in a day. But you, young quick, familiar with swamp edges from childhood sneaking. You've a chance. I won't abandon you. You can and you must. One free beats 4 chained. Reach freedom, Toby. Her music, build a life. Maybe someday the world shifts enough we join you. That night music. As quarters sank into weary sleep, I lay awake on my pallet, pain throbbing, plotting escape. Moon near full, good for sight, bad for hiding. Dogs penned far enough for possible head start. No supplies, no food, just clothes and swamp, edge knowledge from 15 years. I knew entry points, some safe paths, knew depth and speed mattered more than caution. Near midnight, say music, insects quieting, I rose. Every motion tore at wounds, fresh blood soaking bandages. But pain I could manage. Death or endless slavery I could not. Mama waited awake, handed small bundle cornbread, dried meat, little, but unnoticed saving. Hush, take it. Then a kitchen knife, stolen. For protection or use, you'll need it. Sisters hugged silent, fierce, noise fatal. I'll return for you, I vowed. Somehow, someday, by freedom or aid escape. Promise. Don't promise, Mama said firmly. Her music, just survive. That's enough. I slipped into humid night to music. Plantation silent. Big house dark. Overseers dark. Only guard lanterns. I'd studied patrol gaps, moved through one low and fast as wounds allowed, past rustling diseased indigo, past fermenting processing house, past boundary markers. Then swamp edge, where order ended and wild began. Great cypress swamp loomed, moon glinted black water between vast trunks. Behind only world I'd known, birthplace, expected death place. Ahead, terror and promise. I stepped into water, never looking back. Night swamp felt another realm. Temperature plunged, cold water shocked despite summer, soaking legs. Sounds shifted. Plantation insects replaced by eerie calls, screaming frogs, hooting birds, splashes, maybe fish, maybe gators. Moonlight dappled through hanging moss, casting shifting shadows. Everything identical. Water, trees, moss. Direction near impossible. I pushed deeper away from plantation, through clutching vegetation, scratching arms. Waded ankle to waist deep, never sure footing, solid, root, sucking mud. Fell often, fully drenched, cold shocking gasps. By dawn, exhausted, soaked, back ablaze from swamp-soaked wounds. Yet distance gained, no civilization visible, only endless cypress and black water. Found raised root knob, collapsed beyond further movement. Sun rose, revealing vast strange wetland music. Twisted trees, coffee, dark water, floating green patches, uncertain weight bearing. If Toby's desperate flight into the unknown grips you, comment where you're watching from and subscribe. We're sharing tales of survival through cunning and bravery against impossible odds. Tried sleeping. Couldn't. Adrenaline, pain, capture fear too strong. Ate scrap of cornbread, drank swamp water despite risk, planned next. No true plan, escaped, but to where? Couldn't stay forever, couldn't emerge near catchers. Swamp touched free land far north. Hundreds unknown miles. For now, staying alive sufficed. Second day worse. Infection, fever heated back, stench rising. Weak from hunger, bad water. Worst utterly lost. All looked same. Tried consistent direction, but thick canopy hid sun, no landmarks. Circles or deeper unknown. Ate familiar looking berries, hoping non-poisonous. Caught raw turtle. No fire possible, smoke risky. Late second day, fever, hallucinations, faces in water, vanishing shapes. Dreamlike horror. Collapsed in shallows, thinking end. Escaped plantation only to die in swamp music. At least chosen death, reaching freedom over chained one. Then, singing. Thought hallucination first. Old woman's voice, cracked yet powerful, work song like but unfamiliar words, music. Maybe African, maybe older. Crawled toward it when walking failed, driven by desperate hope of aid. Third day barely conscious, following voice like lighthouse through haze. Singing came and went, leading deeper. By noon, full delirium. Mother beckoning ahead. Renault whipping behind, swamp alive with reaching branches. Fell into deeper water. Thought drowning, body lost forever in black. Hands seized me, strong despite age, pulled up. Dragged through water, too weak to aid or fight. Then blackness, fever dreams, timeless pain. Woke clearer in stilted cypress cabin, walls weathered as if grown, not built. Interior blue, glowed from luminescent fungus on wall logs. Dozens glowing blue, white and dark. Thin old woman sat nearby, white-haired, blind milky eyes, yet moved surely stirring pot over small fire. "You wake," she said without looking. "Good. Thought you might die. Waste dragging you here." Voice croak, mine worse. "Where am I?" "My home, deep swamp where whites don't come, few others do. Safe, secret. Who are you?" "Mama Elodie?" "Called that by the rare who know I exist, here longer than your years." "How'd you find me?" "You didn't find me. I found you." Sang to guide. Swamp told me days before. Someone coming needing help. Sang to bring you. Swamp told you. Dry leaf laugh. Think swamp just trees and water. Alive boy. Listens. Speaks. If you know hearing. Wanted to call her mad. Yet here in glowing fungus cabin after fever. Guided escape, normal rules gone. "No, let me see back." Flinched instinctively. "Hush." "No harm. Cleaned you unconscious already. Just more medicine." Hands gentle, probing expertly despite blindness. Whip bad music, 20, 25 maybe. infected too. But herbs help. Young, strong. You'll heal. Scars forever though. I know. Applied paste. Burned then cooled, easing. What you fleeing? Whipping or deeper? Everything. Whipping just final straw. Running from plantation slavery being property. Running toward freedom maybe, or anything else. Quiet wrapping herb-scented cloth. Fire in you, not rage fire many boys carry. Clear seeing fire, deeper understanding. Just want freedom. Freedom more than no chains. Knowing self, power, capability, even chained possible. Enslaved without chains, also possible. Music, didn't fully grasp, too tired for debate. Drank savory herbal broth, best ever tasted, slept dreamless. Days, maybe week. Time blurred in deep, swamp twilight. Recovered under Mama Elodie's care. Infection cleared, strength returned, fever broke. And I learned. She was teacher awaiting pupil. Showed unknown plants music, healing or deadly. Taught swamp navigation by subtle cues. Tree growth, water flow, firm ground signs. More than survival philosophy. Power, freedom, resistance, revenge, undermining systems from within. Want to fight plantation. One evening on porch, swamp glowing with fireflies and fungus. Yes. Simple. Direct fight, they win. Guns, dogs law might. Straight on, dead or caught. Indirect. Let them think victory while losing. That's true power. Don't understand. You will. Teaching something to change everything. For you, family, whole plantation. But promise wise use. Power without wisdom, mere destruction. What power? Gestured wall fungus, folklore, blue fire. Grows only deepest swamp, where death feeds soil. Glows eating what others can't. Decay, disease, darkness. Wondered its purpose, beauty, strength. Powerful. More than you know. Lifted small piece blue light on blind eyes. Properties white science yet ignores. Cures plant disease, specifically your master's indigo blight. A heart raced. Then it could. Wait. Yes. Cures blight, saves crop. Makes him richer miracle boy. Good. Thought freedom bargain. Hush. Folklore doesn't merely cure, transforms permanently. Treated soil bonds forever to that plant. Meaning. Indigo, treated soil grows unmatched indigo. Never anything else. No cotton, corn, tobacco, indigo eternally. Soil locked, dawned. Cure saves plantation, chains it to one crop, one market, one fate. Market strong, he prospers. Collapses, fashion shifts, synthetic dyes come. He ruins, no adaptation. Slave to own land, like he enslaved you. Words failed. Perfect. Think deep. Subtle revenge. Years to mature. He won't see immediately. Too late when he does. Good. Let him feel trapped as us. Long silence. Teach you all. Harvest without killing host preparation. Application hiding long effects. Make seem simple cure. Actually eternal shift. Why help me? Old. 73, maybe 5 left. Knowledge shouldn't die with me. Swamp chose you. Brought through fever, near death. Doesn't err. Time perhaps for chain to chain. Not iron, knowledge. Not violence, enemy greed. Next 2 weeks. Time lost. She taught everything folklore. Ventured black water depths. Thick canopy twilight zones where folklore glowed on dead logs. Identified true specimens. Some mimics toxic. Harvest careful, sustainable. Explained cycle. Decomposer breaking unique compounds. Applied to soiled plants. Permanent reinforcing bonds. How know this? Observation. Testing. 60 swamp years watching learning. Whites have universities, books. I have direct experience attention. Different roads, same knowledge. Preparation, exact ratios, timing, storage. Practice till perfect. Application key. Too little fails cure. Too much obvious change. Exact balance, cures, transforms subtly. Transformation time. 3 to 6 months typically. Immediate recovery, days. Soil shift slower, deeper. Too late when noticed, irreversible. No undo I've found in 60 years. Exactly needed. Prepared leather pouch measured fublo. Enough major sections. Use wisely. Remember all. When return. When ready. Healed. Plan solid. Can't just walk in. Need strategy giving leverage. Desperation tempered control. The day's crafting plan. Return daylight he music. Main road cure open. Proud confident not beaten runaway. Greed vs. Anger. Make greed win. Terms immediate of freedom family for cure. Transactional. He understands buying selling. Risk torture for secret. Yes, but treatment needs precise knowledge. Mishandled fails. Make clear value only with my guidance. Night before return. Ceremonial meal. Swamp fish. Gathered greens fire bread. You'll return changed. Everyone notice. Say swamp altered you. Let them. Mystery breeds fear. Power. Owe you what? For saving, teaching, cure. Nothing. Or everything. Use well. Pass on someday. Wisdom. Power shared survives. Then carved figure. Ancient dancing pose. Mothers. From Africa. Survived ocean, slavery, freedom. Reminder. We carry untouchable power, history, generational knowledge. Took it reverently. Thank you. Not yet. Hard part ahead. Return tell me. If find way again. Swamp guards secrets. Barely slept. Rehearsing, stealing for confrontation. Boy who fled beaten. Blind terror. Gone. Returnee harder, focused, knowledge, armed. Dawn goodbye. Fierce embrace despite frailty. Swamp remembers you. Sanctuary always. If I'm gone, cabin waits. Protects friends. Left with pouch. Carving pocketed. Plan brilliant or mad. Unsure. Navigation out easier. Learned signs. No delirium. Swamp aiding toward edge. Destiny. Emerged mid. Morning into sun. Recognized plantation 2 miles across familiar land. Walked open. Confident. No skulking. Field workers stared. Word spread. Toby back. Presumed dead. Reached main compound. Crowd gathered. Enslaved pausing work. Overseers shocked. Big house summons. Walked straight front porch. Taboo for enslaved. Knocked. House servant Beatrice opened eyes wide. Toby. Lord. Child. They said swamp took you. Survived. Need Master Renault. Boy you can't. Tell him Toby returned. Knows saving indigo. Learned swamp things. Offering trade. Terrified nod. Vanished inside. Stood forbidden porch aware eyes. Legend forming. Master Renault appeared. Shock, fury, calculation cycling. Overseers behind. Gaston whip. Hand ready. You dare return. Dare knock my door like right exists. I know saving your indigo. I cut in. Normally fatal. But swamp rules now. No cause, cure. Exchange for something. A face reddened deeper. Insolent. Indigo dying. Third lost. Spreading. Experts failed. 2 months. All Gandhi fortune legacy. I can save. Greed ward rage visibly. How would field hand know what scholars don't? 3 swamp weeks. Places experts fear. Learning from one studying longer than your life. Swamp knowledge whites lack. I have it? Nonsense. Seize him. Quick. What lose listening? Lee. Punish freely. Truth. Refuse costs everything. Pride worth fortune. Long stare. Tense hush. What want? Freedom papers. Me. Mothers, sisters. Legal. Signed. Witnessed lawyer. Idea what asking. 4 prime slaves. Thousands dollars. Frop tens thousands. If dies, ruin. Save it. Pay freedom. Fair. I got. Can't negotiate runaway. Quiet. I'm thinking. Calculated openly. Punishment desire ves crop desperation. How no cure works. Demonstrate small section. Works. Truth clear. Fails. Punish as wish. Works. Teach cure. Why honor deal, not keep enslaved. Hen music. Ongoing careful application needed. Wrong worsens. Also business reputation. Broken deals harm future. Weak. We both knew. But greed rationalized. 3 days. Test section. Works discuss terms. Fails. Punishment makes prior whipping mild. Agreed he music. To diseased fields. Walked. Master Gaston overseers. Me. To worst blight. Enslaved watched distant drawn. Mother cried from laundry restrained. I nodded reassurance. Damage worse. Sections dead. Blight advanced. Open pouch. Daylight fublo unremarkable dried fungus. Core. Deep swamp rare fungus consuming disease. Healing soil. Gaston sneered mushroom waste. 3 days no. If works want exact method. Needed water, stakes mark, 3 days undisturbed. Agreed, slow nod. Work day precise mix, solution slight blue tint, soaked soil methodically 50 plant test. Looked replicable, but critical ratios, distribution timing secret. Enslaved watched, hope, fear, wonder. Mother whispered close, dangerous. Toby, buying freedom, trust, works, will, promise, evening done staked boundary. Wait 3 days, results clear. We're stay. Quarters family. Not running. Suspicious nod. Watched if tried. Night reunited cabin che music. Told all escape swamp. Mama Elodie fublo plan. Amazed silence. Cure works. Beautifully music. Miracle, he'll think. But hidden price. Months, years reveal. By then we free. Gone. Others here. When plantation later fails. Pause. Hadn't considered beyond family. Not immediate. By then maybe slavery ending. War rumors, north-south split. Perhaps all free soon. Rationalization soothed conscience. 3 days endless. Confined, watched constantly some music, yet treated differently valuable knowledge bearer. Not mere rebel. Enslaved asked swamp lessons, survival. I shared safely, taught by ancient wise woman seeking family freedom. If works. Jacob said, legend, the boy swamp powered. Just want free. Sometimes no choice what you become. Third morning. Heart pounding to test. All hinged here. Reached. Master gasped. Dramatic shift. Dying plants vibrant green. Healthy beyond pre-blight. Disease vanished. Vigor unmatched. Touch disbelieving examined. Crowd gathered. Overseers workers. Staring miracle. Worked. Whisper. By God worked. Yes. Can treat all. Save crop. First. Agreement. First time. Possible respect in eyes. Really learned swamp something. Many things. Cure one. How much fublo? Enough diseased. More harvestable. Only I know safe source. Method. Made indispensable. Clever. Pause. Calculating. Treat all fields. Teach overseers maintenance. Complete. Recovered. Freedom papers 4. Papers now. Lawyer escrow. Complete released. Distrust me! Shouldn't I? Owned 15 years. Whipped for water. Why trust? Surprised laugh. Fair. Your way. Escrow. Stay. Complete. Won't run. Want success more. Maybe. 2 weeks treated every section. Exhausting mixing, applying, marking, explaining overseers tests too late secret. Consistent miracle. Blight fled. Indigo thrived. Hay music. Deeper color, greater yield. Word spread. Neighbor planters visited. Renault boasted recovery. Accepted praise saving Louisiana indigo. No public credit. I still property outwardly, but private grudging respect grew. Mother worried shift. Dangerous. Set up for worse. Maybe. Also freedom path. Days left. Week stabilize. Papers gone. If honors. Will. Businessmen. Reputation. Plus believes future need me. Unknown, no future need. No outbreaks. No maintenance. Fublo permanent. Fields indigo bound. Gradual reveal months, years. Final day. Full recovery. Thriving crop. Renault hailed industry savior. Summoned big house. Front door. Office seat. Unprecedented. Papers ready. 4 documents drawer. Legal freedom. Us people. Not property. Protection, travel, wages, lives. Hands shook taking. Worth gold. Thank you. Meant despite all. Don't. Earned. Saved plantation fortune. Future. Fair trade. Pause. Proposal. Stay paid employee. Wages. Not white overseer, but fair. For knowledge. Disease management. No. Thank you. Leaving Louisiana. North. Papers fully honored. Lives far plantation. Disappointed nod. Understand. Where? Ohio. Perhaps Pennsylvania. Free. Just people. Change Toby. Frightened child fled, someone else returned. Negotiated equal, saved fortune, earned freedom, cunning, not violence. Won't forget. Nor you, Master Renault. What you represent, did to us. Edge heard, he flinched grace. No hate. Right to. Product system, like you. Born wealth on slavery. Never questioned till maybe now. Free others. Seeing one earn it. Complicated. Economic. Simple. They're human. Deserve freedom. Won't change you. Waste breath. Stood with papers. Goodbye. Hope indigo thrives. Will. Thanks you. Last. Core. Complications. I contact smooth lie. None. Indigo beautiful years. Richest Louisiana. Didn't add most trap. Chained single crop lifetime. He'd learn alone. Afternoon. Mother, sisters, I packed meager belongings, walked off Renault Plantation free. Papers proved status, deal money, unimaginable hope. Glanced back once. Recovering doomed indigo fields, childhood quarters, generational bondage land. Smiled. Historical note, Renault Plantation, Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana, indigo 1790-1885. 1852, Blight, dramatic recovery, credited enslaved Toby. Unusual 1852 freedoms 4. Post-1852 records show soil unable diversification, indigo only until 1870s, synthetic dyes, crashed market, collapse 1885. Toby Freeman, Ohio census 1853 onward, freedman, herbalist, died 1910, age 73. Soil specialization, certain fungal treatments, documented science. Mama Elodie, unverified. Matches Louisiana black oral tradition, swamp hermits. Knowledge keepers. Toby's arc. Brutalized boy to calculated liberator. Shows strongest resistance from knowledge. Patience. Knowing enemy deeply enough to bind them with own greed. If his tale of intellect conquering oppression stirs you, subscribe for more wisdom, resistant stories. Comment how you'd wield knowledge that saves yet ultimately destroys. Your engagement keeps alive these testimonies of ingenuity amid oppression.